So today I'm going to be showing you guys a build where I go all in on a really fun sidearm that has been completely revamped with the last patch, and that is the warrant. Now, I've already used the warrant in a couple videos, but I really wanted to do one where I was almost going to use this thing entirely as my primary, because I think it is just that cool and that fun. This is, in one patch, in one really basic seeming change, this went from one of the most frustrating and least fun gun to use to one of the coolest in the game, because now it functions properly and it hits the targets that it is aiming at. And it turns out that makes a pretty big difference. This thing is really good and really fun now. So I wanted to make a build on the squids where I really went all in with this thing to see just how much you can get out of it. And it's quite a lot, actually. I'll get into the flaws. I mean, you'll see them as we play. But first, I'm going to show you guys what I'm pairing it with, and that is the supply pack. Now, even though it has 7 mags, that is pretty deceiving, because it does not have that much damage per mag. It can really only kill 1 overseer per mag, and you're going to fight a hell of a lot more than 7 overseers at a time. So a supply pack really helps you maintain longevity and just have a better supply economy than you would without it. I'm going to be using the HMG because it's one of my favorite weapons against the squids. I've been using it a lot recently. It just shreds both stingrays and harvesters, and is also really, really good against flesh mobs. All around really solid. You don't even need peak physique or recoil reduction on this faction. You can get by along just fine without it. I'm going to be using the orbital laser, mostly because it's really good against the squids, and I've been using the 500 kg too much. I want to switch it up. This thing's good against landed ships. It's not bad against harvesters. It struggles a little bit with flesh mobs because they just have so much health. Still, it's not bad when used judiciously because of its limited charges. And the machine gun sentry, this is just no-brainer, one of the best chaff clear sentries in the game. The Gatling's a little too dangerous for my taste. It kills me too often. And the flame, even though it got massive buffs, I still think it needs a little bit more love before it's really on the same level as the machine gun sentry. It just doesn't have enough health. It dies really, really fast, even now. And the faster cooldown is nice. It does help, but it's not really enough. I'm sure around a full flame build you can make this work, and maybe I'll do some testing on that, but generally I prefer the machine gun sentry. For equipment, I'm going to be using the gunslinger armor, almost entirely for the reload speed, though the holster and draw speed is not bad either. The increased reload speed is just going to make it so I can fire the warrant all the time. It makes the reload extremely fast. Recoil doesn't matter that much since it is lock-on. And I'm not going to be using the unguided mode at any point because it really sucks. And you should not use it unless you absolutely have to. I'm going to be using the eruptor as a primary, but before you get your pitchforks and torches out, I'm barely going to use this. This is entirely to deal with landed ships and flesh mobs. Otherwise, I'm going to focus entirely on the warrant. I do not want the eruptor to outshine it, because we all know this is an excellent weapon on all fronts, especially the squids. And finally, the gas grenade, because that covers the biggest weakness of the warrant, or one of the biggest weaknesses of the warrant, and that is dealing with hordes of flesh mob, or hordes of voteless. This thing really struggles with big groups of voteless. It just does not have the ammo or fire rate to deal with that many enemies. The gas cleans them up very nicely, and it slows down all the other annoying enemies as well. Just a very good pick. And finally, the vitality enhancement booster. For some extra survivability, I am wearing medium armor, so hopefully that those two combined will save me from some of the nastier flying overseer bursts. But otherwise, that is it for the build, and I will see you guys in the mission. Okay, so I am pretty tired right now. I am recording this rather late, but I am hoping that the warrant will make this easier on me, considering it will do a lot of the hard work. Now, granted, the warrant still has some pretty big weaknesses, and I mean, it's gotta. People are gonna get mad at me if I don't get these. I don't need them, but I'm gonna grab them anyway. The warrant's really good at some very specific tasks, but it still has a bunch of weaknesses, which I think are actually well deserved now because it is so good in its niche. And one of the primary ones is just it's got really, really low damage against certain targets. And those targets are mostly voteless, because it takes a full burst or more to kill a single voteless, depending on which voteless type it is. So you just do not have the ammo to deal with like a serious group like this. You really got to use your gas grenades and use the warrant only to pick off the outliers and the ones that ignore that there's gas. It's good at finishing them off once they've been wounded a little bit by the gas, but it cannot fight them by itself. I mean, it can, but it's just such a slog and a huge waste of ammo. It's really not advised, in my opinion. The Eruptor is also not great against Voteless because it's just got such a slow fire rate. It's not bad if you get a good shot into a big crowd of them, but that is not why I'm bringing it for. That's why I'm bringing it for. It's just I need something convenient to deal with landed chips, because landed chips are actually a really big deal on the squids. Compared to the other factions, I guess the big alpha commander bug holes are pretty high priority as well. Okay. Insane aimbot. I'm the one with the aimbot today. What are you doing? Alright, and the Eruptor is also nice to get rid of their shields, because the Warrant does not have the DPS to really crack through those all that well. It's fine if I take a little bit of gas damage, because, again, I am running the supply pack. I'm going to have a lot of extra sims. I'm going to lure you into attacking me. There we go. So it's about, I think, under a full mag of Warrant to actually kill a grounded Overseer. But the problem is that it needs to hit all the same limbs, which, the Warrant is actually not bad at doing that. It's probably better than most people's aim is at that. Honestly, mine too sometimes. Because I think Overseers are a very tough enemy to hit. They are really slippery. Compared to, you know, Devastators, Bot Troopers, who all move pretty predictably, Overseers really kind of just do what they want. That's why I'm not a fan of precision weapons too much on this faction. Alright, can I just punch you? No. That would have been too nice. Yeah, this build does have a... Did I forget to call him? Oh, I just never called in my HMG. Okay, I am really tired, goddammit. And that is fine, because honestly, it is really... I could still just use the Eruptor. I probably didn't even need to bring the HMG on this build, because the Eruptor is not bad against Harvesters and those guys if you can actually get 2 shots in, which I did not. I am gonna blow you up, because I don't want you shooting me in the back. I think it's always good to prioritize taking cover from those guys before actually taking them out. Because you can always take them out on the next pass, but, ooh, big stutter, that's concerning a little bit, because I have not had a big stutter like that in a while. But, you know, performance is a work in progress, as they say. It is better. It definitely is better. I mean, I think all the changes were mostly focused on the bug front, particularly on the Hive planet, because the performance there was unbearably bad when Into the Unjust launched, and it got a lot better on the Liberation campaign for Oshone. I still want to call it Oshan. I don't know if it's my instinct to rage bait people, or that is genuinely how I think it should be said, or how my subconscious thinks it should be said. Because I know the ship announcer ladies, AI, whatever it is, says Oshone. That does sound quite a lot fancier than Oshan. Sounds like just an Irish guy. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, please do not be offended by Irish viewers if I have any. But that would be a pretty funny name for a horrible bug planet. Alright. scary. But the machine gun sentry, he does. I'm gonna use the laser here actually, because I don't think I'm gonna need it too many more times. It'll just help me. Oh, that might be bad actually if it loops around. But hopefully it prioritizes some enemies that are not close to me. Yeah, the laser's not bad on the squids because it does pierce. I think it pierces harvester shields and kills them pretty fast, and it also just wipes out landed ships like instantly. It is extremely good against landed ships, but it does get lost in the sauce sometimes. As a all auto aim stratagems too, even the warrant, it really is a technique to avoid all the voteless and go for the actual targets that matter. I'm just gonna hang out on the gas for a minute. This will keep me safe-ish from all these voteless. And I have enough stims that is an acceptable trade-off. The gas does kill them pretty slowly, which is unfortunate. I'm gonna leave once a... No, I'm gonna fill up the backpack. Okay, there's still a couple stragglers coming in from the flag objective, but that was a pretty smooth flag as far as things went. I'm not sure how much the laser contributed. I think it did pretty good. The fire effect it leaves on the ground is actually not bad, even if it does not last very long. I still think the laser does not deserve to have limited charges anymore. It is really, really powerful at some things, most notably taking out bot fortresses, but honestly the cooldown barely affects its ability to do that. Or not cooldown, the limited charges. It just makes it feel worse against every other threat, because you don't... Every time you use your laser, you kind of feel like you're wasting it, even if you really aren't. I don't know. It's not that big a deal because the laser still has a really long cooldown, so you wouldn't use that many per mission. But there's a psychological effect, I think, to having limited uses of a stratagem. Same with a mech, which I think is one of the reasons why they're unpopular, even though they're really good and really cool. I say unpopular kind of loosely. I don't think they're that unpopular, especially again on the Hive planet. They were really popular, but I see them won every like 10 plus games compared to a lot of other stratagems, which I see, you know, literally every single game when I play with randos, faction depending. Still, I think Oshone definitely made people appreciate them more because they do die very fast to some things, but overall they are still really powerful and a lot tankier than a Helldiver is most times. Maybe not heavy armor experimental infusion Helldiver with the supply pack, but they're pretty goddamn durable. Right. Yeah, the Eruptor's so good against landed ships if it doesn't get lost in the sauce like that. Okay, that wasn't lost in the sauce, I just missed. I should take you out, but the shields are going to recharge. I mean, that's fine. Oh, that's not fine. Get out of my face. You did not make any sound. Okay, that's fine. The ragdoll actually propelled me away from the bad guy. Put away the grenades. Come on, what are you doing? Okay, deal with the flyers. Because no matter how fast you are and how far you run away, elevated overseers will find you, and they will kill you, if given the opportunity. And now I get to actually use my HMG for the first time. I really did not. I don't even think this build needs a support weapon, to be honest, because the Eruptor's just so flexible and strong. I don't know, maybe it might be worth bringing a chaff clear support weapon, like a stalwart, flamethrower, arc thrower. Arc thrower wouldn't be bad in this build, actually, but I don't know. I wanted a support weapon that wouldn't overshadow the warrant, because I really want to focus on this thing. And it's consistently, it seems, to be for snitches 4 bullets, so it's I think the safest way is 1 burst and then a little bit of spare change. Because having an extra bullet there is nice in case one misses, even though they really don't miss anymore. Okay, I'm going to use the eruptor to do nothing, because I hand bolted it. To do nothing, because the fence is made of fucking titanium. Oh yeah, the biggest weakness of the warrant is a tiny fence. Cannot lock on past that. No, I said I would try to not use. Oh, that's a dead end. Not use the eruptor too much, but in this case, I don't really have time to stop and lock on. How are you guys not gassed? I swear, the gas grenade, it's been kind of, it's still really strong, but it's been kind of weird for a while. I don't know if it's a visual issue where it doesn't display the exact area it covers, if it's a status effect issue where the status effect isn't applying properly. It could be so many things. Alright, I'm gonna save my lasers. One for the monolith, because the monolith is usually kind of scary. It's got a lot of harvesters, overseers, landed ships, all the nasty stuff that can really get you in a lot of trouble. And maybe one for extract or a siege artillery if there is one. I think I did see the siege artillery icon in the mission prep. That is like a mostly useless tech, not completely, but you can determine if there's a siege artillery objective if you see the siege artillery call-in icon in your utility stratagem cooldown, like along with your hell bomb. Ooh, come on. Go. Oh no, purple barrel. No! You son of a bitch! Every time. Oh, I despise purple barrels. I mean, you know, random, unpredictable insta-kills. Who else would ever put that in their game except Arrowhead? Alright, that's why we love them. It's crazy bastards who defy reason, defy logic, and sometimes they're cooking and sometimes they're setting the kitchen on fire. Alright. You gotta relax. How do I get out of this? Yeah, it feels bad against Voteless. 4 shots for this really overwhelming amount of chaff. Like, you need to do multiple resupplies to take out like a sizable Voteless horde. I think it does like pierce to an extent, but it's not really good at doing that. Maybe if you put it on non-guided mode, you could use it to decent effect if you aimed for the legs, but non-guided mode feels really bad in my opinion. The recoil is kind of nuts, and the damage and bullet velocity is not great, though I guess the bullet velocity was improved very dramatically. Ooh. That hurt. I'm missing my jump pack HMG combo because I'm going to struggle to reload it. Alright, I want to loop around and use the laser over there. Oh, okay. Remember when I said that? I do not remember the laser input. Ooh, that's... Please do not arc me. Yeah, laser's good against those guys. Harvesters, that's what they're called. They'll never really make clear what they harvest. Do they like pick up people to turn them into Voteless, or is that just a scary sounding name for them? Oh, maybe they're farming equipment, who knows? I'm gonna do something stupid. No, I'm not gonna do something stupid. I was gonna try and run in there and just get the hell bomb out, but that literally never works out for me. Every time I do that, it goes badly. Okay, that could have gone badly too. It really is much wiser to get stuck on a voteless and die. No. Fail to hit a snitch who is fucking juking me like crazy. Bolt, please. I don't think he bolted, and it got... Hopefully that bounces and actually does what I wanted to. Oof. All purple barrel, purple barrel, purple barrel. Nope. Not today. Nope, I don't have anything that I can do. They could too. Oh my god. I never realized how big and nasty that pile of bodies was in here. Yeah, maybe the squids are not the good guys. The automatons, they do some fucked up shit, but you know what? I don't think they're all that evil. They're not as evil as the squids, but this is pretty bad. And the bugs are just, you know, they're evil in the same way like a grizzly bear is evil. But giving those attacks demolition force sure was a choice made by developers. Okay, and giving that... Well, the ragdoll wouldn't change anything. I think I was dead anyway. Spawned a fucking country mile away under one of these bozos. But that is fine, because the Eruptor is really not bad against them if I hit... Okay, there's a lot going on right now. This is more than I'm prepared to deal with. Do not one shot me. Okay, I think that got him. Yep. 2 of those, another... My god. I guess I didn't do a good job of clearing out that last drop. Oh, this is like the first flesh mob in the mission. I've barely seen any of you guys. Maybe I shouldn't complain. Fuck you. I am scared of... Okay, come on. I should not do missions while on this side. This may have been a little silly of my... Kind of a silly decision. I also do not have any supplies. So I'm gonna throw that over there and hope gas is enough to carry me. Okay, please. That's gonna... Oh, I'm never getting these supplies in a million years. That's fine, I'll just call them a resupply backpack. The goofier of a sound you make before those go off, the more likely you are to survive. That's tech, actually. If you make a really stupid sound, they just don't shoot. And you can't get advice like this anywhere else on the other 10 million YouTube Helldivers YouTubers. They're a very fun game to yap about, I'm not gonna lie. I get why so many people make videos. I just do it for fun, honestly. I'm not even making any money off of this. There's a lot to talk about in this game, and I think that's both testament to how good it is and testament to how convoluted and confusing it is. I do wish a couple of underperforming weapons were buffed, so I would have more funky builds to make that weren't, you know, terrible. Because I don't know, you can always like make like pure theme builds, like, oh, I'm running 1000% arc on like the bots, but a lot of the time the builds just don't end up being that fun because the options don't feel that good to use. Arc was a random example. There's nothing inherently wrong with most arc stratagems and weapons, so don't take that specifically. But there's just a lot of things in the game that should feel good, but they just kind of don't. That really limits your options. Like, see the orbital laser? It's good, it's really strong, but why does it only have 3 charges still? Like it just feels like a holdover from launch, where everything was weaker, and there were just less enemies, so the orbital laser was even better. But even then, it still wasn't like insanely powerful, like end all be all. Like it was strong. It's a good panic button, but it still had limited charges, and it still did not do that well against a lot of heavies. I don't know. I feel like the charges is just, it makes the stratagem less fun without really balancing it. I kind of feel the same way about mechs. Like, mechs have extremely long cooldown, like 10-minute cooldown, I think, by default. So you'd still only be able to call on like 3 or 4, or maybe less with what you call it, the DSS cooldown. So it's like the charges just make them feel worse than they should. I don't get why they have them. Because it's not performance. Not anymore, at least. They said that it was that originally, but since then they've given us free mechs, so we could double up anyway, and have like more mechs than we were originally intended, quote unquote. And when there was that stratagem duplication bug, people were spawning in like 40 to 50 mechs at a time, and no frame drops at all. Compared to like a single like cluster bomb or Eagle airstrike, or not Eagle airstrike, orbital napalm strike, and then you get massive frame drops. But those are fine. Those do not need, you know, limited charges, so it's not performance that brings that on. I don't know. It's I don't understand their reasoning a lot of the time. I know a lot of people like theorize, like the grunt fantasy or whatever, but I don't know. I try to stay out of that because I don't think it's very productive. I'd rather just play the game and share my opinion on why I think that some things are good and some things are bad, and how they could be better. Because when it comes to game design philosophy, you know, what do I know? I've never worked in that industry. Right. Oh no, I did not save. Oh, wait, you one-shot those? I thought you couldn't do that anymore. No, you can't. What? How did you one-shot that guy? Did you two-shot him? I just missed the first shot? What a mysterious game. Yeah, he is flying off straight onto the Super Destroyer to attack us in our homes. So I don't know where the fuck that was going. Okay. I saw the gas effect on you. You're not fooling me. I know you're full of shit. Okay. I should not be having arguments with Q-tip overseers while I'm still getting run down by them. Oh my god, there's how many did that spawn? Like 8. Yeah, see, and when it's a full warrant mag per overseer, that's why I think you need the supply pack if you really want to use it as your primary. And honestly, any like real pure sidearm build with gunslinger armor really benefits from I'm gonna get your nothing because I'm gonna miss. All of them benefit really from a supply pack because most sidearms just don't have very good ammo economy. Because you know they're not meant to be used as a primary weapon. Okay, let's get this guy. Maybe I should try that full bushwhacker build with gunslinger and supply pack, but honestly at that point I feel like there's not much advantage of the gunslinger bushwhacker over just taking like the Punisher or the M90A, the Halo shotgun. Like it doesn't do anything all that special except be one-handed, but if you have the supply pack you can't. Okay, Steve Samsite, what are you cooking? He needs the lock-on buff just as much as the warrant did. Smoke. I actually do not care. I should not care about what shells I'm getting. The mission is... This is the last thing I'm doing. Oh, of course I get the double mini nuke question mark on the last one. I'm gonna forget and not use these, and somebody's gonna get mad in the comments. Okay, and napalm over smoke. Actually, this is a really good sea site. I kind of wish I had found this one first. Maybe I should like actively seek these out on the map before dropping in. Oh, I didn't even spawn that far because I spawned next to the super sample rock, so I could probably have just seen it. I might even review the footage and I'll be able to see it clear as day, and I just fucking completely miss it because I'm very sleepy. But considering how sleepy I am, I think that's a good sign that the warrant is pretty good and pretty easy to use. Because it really does actually aim for you now. Like, it curves, like the bullets curve crazy. If they ever add an auto-aim primary, I really hope they have it be as good as this, or feel as good as this at least. Because launch warrant was just so dog shit. Yeah, I'm sorry, warrant chads, but I mean, you've used it pre-buff and post-buff. Like, there's no competition. You know which one is so much better than the other. Let's get a machine gun sentry. Oh yeah, and just seeing that orbital laser unavailable feels bad. It still is a really popular stratagem. Probably just because it looks really cool. And it's pretty simple to use. Maybe not use effectively, because use effectively you have to be super, you know, conservative with your use of it. Otherwise you're going to run out when you need it. Kind of like I did. But to just like throw it out and it kills a bunch of enemies or blows up a bunch of buildings, that's like trivial because it aims for you more or less. No, none of that today. Get that out of here. Ooh. That harvester is in a tough position for me. And you know what? How about that, huh? That's not even close. I really thought he was way closer than that. But it's gonna take a while to get there. He might walk onto it. Let's see. Oh, he did walk onto it. Not bad. Good job, mini nuke. Is it confirmed anywhere? This doesn't really matter. If hell bombs are nukes, because I'm pretty sure that's just the exact same explosion. Like tactical nukes, not the really big ones. It's no Tsar Bomba, but bro, oh bro, okay. Maybe hell bomb is just a PR name for nuclear bombs to make us feel better about irradiating the landscape. That'd be cool if they were like radiation weapons, like in Deep Rock. Or at least radiation effects. That would be a fun use status effect. Instead of confusing enemies like gas, it could probably just be raw damage. And maybe stay in one area longer so it'll be... Well, actually, I'm not sure about that, because that sounds like it would be very inconvenient when you have glue huffing, rando teammate, drop it right on top of the objective and hangs around forever. So I'm actually not sure what they could do with radiation. I mean, my initial instinct is stun mechanical enemies, but then they'd be useless on the bugs, and it would kind of step into the niche of gas. Let's use my second. Oh, I thought you fell down. I guess not. Ragdolls. Who doesn't love ragdolls? That L bomb, I think, got the harvester at least, which is really what I wanted Huge whiff. Legendary, insane whiff. Okay, Pelican, you gotta fucking hurry up. This is a little dicey down here. I still need to focus the flying overseers because they are not going to get gassed as well as the rest. Oh, you're not going to get gassed as well either, but that's just because you're cheating. I'm going to get completely stopped in my track by God knows what. Yeah, land on that shithead. And let us not get ragdolled, slide into the exit, and we are done. Wow. That was really easy. Huh. I mean, the warrant is very, very good at certain things. I still think it's flawed, but I do think the other pieces of my build covered the flaws really well, so that I never ran into any issues where I was like, fuck, I'm using the warrant, what do I do? Gas grenades, Eruptor, and HMG really plugged the weaknesses of the warrant very, very well. And that made it feel really good to use. It was really good against all overseer types and snitches. And okay at finishing off the occasional lone voteless, but really it's gas grenades primarily. I still think it may not be the worst idea to maybe bring a chaff clear support weapon, flamethrower, grenade launcher, maybe even stalwart, something like that to deal with voteless, because it was kind of awkward having to rely on the gas grenade to clear voteless as much as I did. But I don't know, the HMG is just so good against harvesters, and harvesters, if there's like 2 or 3 of them stacked up, is such a nightmare to deal with without a really dedicated support weapon. Like the Eruptor, like it can kill harvesters and it's pretty good at taking out one, but I think it starts to struggle when there's a couple around. It can still do a decent job. Yo, honestly, maybe the variable wouldn't have been terrible either, because it can one-shot harvesters, and I could have taken something else to another support weapon to blast teleportation ships. Maybe the harpoon gun. That could have been a variable or a variant for the build with the variable. But anyway, that's it. I'm rambling because I'm tired. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I wasn't too low energy. But this build was a lot of fun. I'm going to use it again in the future, and it's especially on low visibility planets. I forgot to mention that. This feels really nice there. But I had a good time. I hope you guys did too, and I will see you all in the next video.